sun shining as she sped up the motorway with her sunglasses on, singing along to Taylor Swift, with Hamish sitting on the back seat, occasionally barking. She'd parked the little car between two whopping great black 4x4s, feeling quite smug that all her Brighton parking experience meant she could reverse in on a sixpence. After a wander up and down, taking in the sights of the village, while Hamish left his mark on virtually every lamppost he could find, she'd popped him back into the car. And then she'd taken one final look at her phone, scrolling through her emails until she found the one she needed. It never hurt to have it there as a backup. Not that she needed it, because everything was organised, of course. A magpie hopped onto the fence beside her and cocked his head, looking at her thoughtfully. Lucy saluted him for luck, and he flew off with a chattering call. She hesitated for a moment, took a deep breath, and headed for the white-painted wooden gate of Wisteria Cottage. Pausing, she felt the roughness of the flaking paint on her palm, and then moved forward, peering through the window into the gloom. It definitely looked a bit less, well, a lot less, well cared for than the others. Where all the other cottages in the village seemed to be spick and span, this one looked like it could do with a visit from Marie Kondo and a serious declutter. On the window ledge there were stacks of old plastic plant pots and 2 rolls of string. A grey cat looked out at her and blinked sleepily. Several huge blousy pink geraniums pressed up against the glass, as if soaking up the sunshine. And, she stood on tiptoe for a better angle, she could just about make out what looked like a stack of old boxes filled with newspapers next to the kitchen sink. It was definitely a bit, well, chaotic would be a reasonable description. "Are you going to stand there all day?" Lucy jumped. A tiny bird-like woman, with steely grey hair pulled back in an untidy bun, stood in the doorway. She wore a men's check shirt over a pair of green polyester trousers and a thick woolen cardigan that hung from her shoulders like a blanket. She was glaring at Lucy through roomy, narrowed eyes. "No, I am here about the cottage. I'm Lucy Evans. I'm looking for a woman called Margaret." She held out her phone. The woman recoiled slightly. "Why are you thrusting that thing at me?" "The details are here, look." Lucy held it out tentatively. The woman took the glasses which were on a string around her neck and put them on, peering down at the screen. "Can't see a thing. That's far too small for me to read." "It says," said Lucy, aiming for a tone that sounded authoritative but not patronising, "Beautiful cottage in Cotswold village available. Reduced rent in exchange for keeping an eye on elderly neighbour. Duties to include shopping, light tidying and daily company. Contact Margaret Nicholson for further details." The woman looked at her, and for a second Lucy saw a glimpse of determination in her eyes. She must have been quite formidable in her younger days. "Margaret Nicholson? There's nobody of that name here. I'm afraid you've come to the wrong place. Terribly sorry, but you've had a wasted journey." The door closed. Lucy stood on the doorstep for a moment, blinking. The woman hadn't looked the least bit sorry. After a second, the door opened again, and Lucy stepped forward, smiling in what she hoped was a warm and encouraging manner. Oh, thank goodness. "Are you still here?" The woman bent down and put a glass milk bottle on the step, straightened up, glared at Lucy, and then closed the door again. Well, that hadn't exactly gone to plan. She opened her phone and dialed the number in the advert, pulling a face at the sight of the words in the email. She hadn't thought anything of the sentence, "If you have any trouble, please give me a call and I'll smooth things over." Looking at it now as she waited for Margaret Nicholson to pick up, she realised that she should have read between the lines. This woman was clearly expecting trouble. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Wasn't that the old saying? Her mum liked that one. You don't get anything for nothing was more like it. A gorgeous cottage.